Why is it that when some companies are faced with challenging times, like economic downturns or shifting customer preferences or new restrictive legislation, that some companies are able to face those challenges and make it through, and others end up failing? Why is that? Why is it that when some people are faced with obstacles and challenges, that they just quit, and others pick themselves up and keep going and succeed? Well, I believe that it comes down to persistence and determination. Here's a fascinating tale of persistence and determination. At midnight on January 17th, 1920, America became a dry country under Prohibition. At that time, there were over 1,300 breweries operating in the US. But after 13 years of Prohibition, less than 100 breweries still survived. That's not really a big surprise, right? What were their options? They were in business selling alcohol. Alcohol is now illegal. So what could they do? Well, they really only had three choices. One was to break the law and face possible imprisonment and fines. Two was to accept the situation, be defeated and quit, which a lot of them did. Or three, they could course correct. The Miller Brewing Company decided to course correct. They started producing soft drinks, malted milk, and malt syrup. Pabst Brewing Company also started selling malt syrup and soft drinks. They also leased part of their plant space to the motorcycle manufacturer Harley-Davidson. And they also diversified their product offering by selling cheese, which they ended up selling off, and it became craft. Coors also started selling malted milk, and they diversified by shifting some of their resources into ceramics and pottery, of all things. They tapped into Colorado's clay to make everything from tea sets, dinnerware, to spark plugs and labware, which, by the way, was used by Thomas Edison. The porcelain company, now known as Coors Tech, thrived and is today one of the largest engineered ceramics manufacturer in the world. The persistence and determination of those companies' leaders is what led them to succeed. They used determined action paired with ingenuity by looking at new, previously unexplored paths, which led them to overcoming incredible obstacles. Now, what about individuals, everyday people? How do everyday people use persistence and determination to succeed? Well, there are millions of examples. People who have come from incredible disadvantaged situations have used persistence and determination to have wild success. Think about Ray Charles. He was blind, poor, a minority, orphaned by the age of 15, yet he became one of the most influential and successful American musicians of all time. How about Michael Jordan? He got cut from his high school basketball team. What if he had accepted that defeat and quit basketball? How about Walt Disney? He was fired from one of his first jobs at the Kansas City Star newspaper because he wasn't creative enough. These are some great examples of really famous people who used persistence and determination to succeed. But how about some regular everyday people? Let's talk about Maggie. Maggie had worked in the corporate office of a national retailer for years. She really wanted to have the opportunity to be in charge of the stores, to be the director of stores, but she kept getting passed up for that promotion. So she started looking for a job with another retailer to be their director of stores. She applied time and time again. She would get to the interview stage, but whenever they asked her directly, what experience did you have as a director of stores in your previous jobs? And she always had to say that she'd never had that opportunity to have that role. And that was the point at which the interview processing ended. She applied and interviewed with dozens of retailers, getting rejected over and over and over again. But then, one retailer decided to take a chance on her. They hired her to be their director of stores. It had taken her 4 years and countless rejections, but she had landed her dream job. And then in just 1 short year later, the owners promoted her to president of the company. At any point in any of these individual stories, they could have just decided to give up. They could have looked at the situation and felt that it was just unpassable. They could have accepted the rejection, or they could have accepted the judgment that the other people put on them on their abilities as the truth. But they didn't. They persevered. They were determined to keep moving forward. Challenges and obstacles are a normal part of business and of life. There's always going to be something. There's going to be delivery delays or supply chain disruption. There's going to be accidents. There's going to be flat tires, missed flights. Bad stuff happens. But it's not how many times we get knocked down. It's how many times we get back up and keep pressing forward. You need persistence and determination in order to do that. The will to press on is what you need to be able to get over those obstacles. And yes, you may be tired, you may be a little scared, you may even be a little skeptical about whether or not you can really do it, but that's what you need to succeed. For more tips like this, like us and follow us on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, LinkedIn, and wherever you get your favorite podcasts, just search for Retail Level Up. And be sure to go to our website, retaillevelup.com, and sign up to get our newsletter. We send Monday Motivation and Top Tip Tuesday, because we all can use a little extra motivation right now, and we can certainly use some top tips. Because now, even more than ever, it's time to level up.